Would you believe it if I told you that the probable cause of your neck pain, mid-back pain, and even lower back pain could be coming from your ankles and the lack of mobility there? Believe it or not, I have found many cases of people where once I got the mobility in their ankles moving properly, their back pain, lower and upper, and their neck pain disappeared. Today, I'm going to share with you what I found and the 3 key things that you can do to improve ankle mobility and stop those pains in your body. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Muscle Repair Shop. My name is Butch Phelps. I'm a functional massage therapist, and today I want to share with you the 3 keys to ankle mobility and why that's so important to you. Let's begin with why it's so important to you. Many times when I watch people walk, and it doesn't matter if they're young or they're old, it has no bearing on it at all. When I watch them walk, they lead with their nose, and when they do that, if I look at their feet and their ankles are not bending. Now, there's several reasons for that. One, shoes that have really thick, hard soles cannot bend in the middle of the shoe, and that prevents the ankle from bending, so therefore the ankle stops at 90 degrees. 2, the arch supports and heel supports in the shoes changes the way you walk as a human. That's going to affect your neck in the way that you will lead with your nose for better balance and momentum. The problem is as you lead with your nose and your head is more out in front of your chest, you put a tremendous amount of strain on the back of your neck, the mid-back, and also into the lower back, which can cause problems up and down your spine, just from the way we walk. It's an important thing to understand that the way we walk controls everything in our body for balance. Our feet, our calves, they are the foundation of our body. Think of our body like a skyscraper, and you have to have a proper foundation so that the building doesn't sway from the wind and is structurally sound. Well, the same is true for you. When you think about your feet, look how small they are compared to the rest of your body. So the muscles in the calves, which are 4 there, the muscles in the shins, which is 3 there, and then the muscles in your feet are actually there as your foundation, so that as you're moving around, it's constantly balancing you all the time. And so naturally, keeping the muscles in your calves where the tension is out, the muscles in your feet where the tension is out, and you can absorb the impact to the ground, will allow the body to stand up straighter and move better throughout your day. Now, for many of you, you've been to podiatrists, you've been to shoe stores, and they've given you shoes with arch supports and heel supports. You may have gotten orthotics for your feet as well because the arches were sore or because the foot itself was sore. And I get it. And you put these things on your feet, and yes, your feet are more comfortable as they promised. The problem is that once you put them on your feet and it starts changing the way you walk, the rest of your body has to change to maintain balance. And that's where the problem comes in. So a shoe that has a heel support in it or a built-up heel on it will literally force you to walk heel-toe. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, just like I did. I thought humans always were supposed to walk heel-to-toe. But if you look at many studies, and the one I looked at the last time was Dr. Daniel Lieberman from Harvard, the heel of the shoe causes us to walk heel-toe. And in his particular study, his subject that he used, once he took the shoe off, using the same treadmill, the same speed, that subject literally walked on the whole foot just by taking the shoe off, whereas with the shoe on, he walked heel-toe. The arch support actually negates the arch muscle of the foot, which is a plantar fascia. I'm sure some of you heard of plantar fasciitis. The plantar fascia, it starts to atrophy. Just like if you put your arm in a cast, the muscles in the arm will atrophy due to lack of use. The arch will do the same thing. Now, the thing to think about with the arch, think of the shock absorbers on your car. If the shock absorbers on your car are not working, the ride can be really bumpy, right? Same thing is true in your feet. If the arch muscles in your feet can't absorb the impact, the damage to your body can be tremendous. And so it changes the way you walk. So today I want to talk about the 3 key things you can do to improve your ankle mobility. Some of it may surprise you, some of it may not. So let's get started. Number 1, we want to soften the feet. Now if you look on some of my videos here, and I should be one up on the screen here you can click over to, that'll talk about the best foot massage ever. I'm going to go through it on this video, but you're welcome to look at that one as well. What you want to do is make sure that your feet are just as soft as your hands. Hard feet do not help you walk better. It actually gives you less balance and makes walking take more energy than what it normally would. So let's get started here. Now you can do this one of 2 ways. You can sit in a chair, and I'll scoot back up here so you can see me, but sit in a chair, cross your foot here or leg here like this, and you can reach with your hands. Now I'm going to use my thumbs here. Let me turn around so you can see me better, but I'm going to use my thumbs here where I'm not going to rub and rub and rub, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to gently press in looking for sore spots. Now when you first do this, not being used to knowing what that feels like, you may press all through your foot and come back and say, well, I didn't feel anything. Come back, do it again, but a little bit harder. Because whatever your foot feels like to you, that's your normal. It may not be right, but that's your normal, okay? So when you're pressing here, press in, and when you find a sore spot, maintain the pressure, breathe out, and allow the muscle under your thumb to literally relax. And you'll start doing that spot by spot all over the foot here until this becomes as soft as the palm of your hand. Number 2, you'll work on the top side of your foot. So from over here, you can feel the bones between the toes here. You've got muscles that are running in between those bones. Take your fingers, and I just typically slide right up my foot. Usually start at my toes, and I work my way all the way up to my ankle with that. And I do this about 3 times on the top of my foot. Now what this does is allows the foot, when I step down and the arch flexes, to spread my toes for better balance. Now for many of the older clients that I have who have balance issues, what I find is that this is tight and all this is very thin, so the ability to balance is not very good. This little massage here can help with that a lot. Now you can stretch your toes in between if you want to do that too, but for now let's just work in between the bones and soften that right back up. Got it? Great. Now let's go on to step number 2. In step number 2, I use a yoga strap, but you can use anything that's not elastic. This is about 8 feet long. I sit on the floor typically with my back and my hips against the wall with my legs straight out in front of me. Those of you who can't get on the floor, so get in a hard back chair like a dining room chair. Put your leg up on an ottoman. Make sure your body's at 90 degrees to your leg here. You're going to take the strap around the ball of your foot here, and you're going to gently pull the toes back. Now, let me warn you, when you pull the toes back, don't use your leg muscles to do that. Let the leg be totally relaxed. Take the strap, pull the toe back towards you. You'll feel the stretch up in here, which is what we want, okay? Now you can lean forward, but you just can't lean back like this. If you lean back like this, you're not stretching anything. What we want to do is we want to lean a little bit forward, feel the stretch there, pull the foot back, just like that. You're going to hold it for like 5 seconds. As you pull back, breathe out, and repeat that 10 times. Now the reason for the 10 times is that you're teaching the brain that this movement is actually safe. So once you do that, then you're going to rotate the whole leg inward, and you're going to do it again. Again, you're going to hold the stretch for 5 seconds. You're going to breathe out as you pull the strap, release it, repeat 10 times. Then you're going to rotate the whole leg outward, and now you're going to pull the toes back, breathe out, hold for the 5 seconds, release it, repeat it 10 times. And what that's going to do is that's going to give the muscles in here take the tension out. There's 4 muscles there, you see. And with those muscles in your calf here, it allows your body to rotate without twisting your back. It allows the foot to work vertically so you can walk better. And most importantly, it allows the foot to move laterally for balance. These are things that you have to do on a daily basis to make that work. I do mine every morning and every night. Now the third key to this is practice your walking. Now I know that sounds like an oxymoron. We all walk. We all think we know how to walk. But the reality is we haven't been taught to walk since we were 2 years old. And once we could walk and not hit our nose on the floor, everybody thought it was a win. And it was. The problem is that we never really learned how to walk correctly. And the reason for that is usually our parents or our grandparents taught us. Chances are they didn't know how to walk correctly either. So I would suggest that what you do is get into a hallway. Practice standing either barefoot or in your sock feet. As you stand there, feel the muscles in your feet and your lower leg as you're starting to balance yourself there. And if you really want to feel it, take it and put your hand on a wall for protection so you don't fall. But lift one foot and feel the one foot, how the muscles in that foot balance. They're doing that all day. That's what keeps you from falling down on the floor, is the muscles in your calves and the muscles in your feet. When you go to take a step, don't reach as far as you can and hit your heel, because what we want to do is we want to hit on the whole foot. So the stride is going to be not as long as you think it should be, but by by hitting on the whole foot, now as you walk through the step, what will happen is that you'll be able to push off from the back toes. And by doing that, that's going to give you the power from your foot and not up here from your quads. Because see, the thing is if you're powering from up here because your feet won't bend, you'll get low back pain, neck and upper back pain. Because as this tightens here, it tilts the pelvis forward, tilts the torso forward, puts all the pressure back here to hold your head up. And so as you start to practice that each day, you can step forward, hit the whole foot, and as you walk through, you can feel the toes propelling you forward. Now, some of you will walk where your toes point outward, and that's usually people who wear pointy toe shoes, or it just can be a habit. Or you walk with your toes pointed inward. That's rotating muscles in the hip. So when you're practicing walking, if by chance your toes point outward, start walking with your toes pointed inward. And what you're doing is you're retraining the brain to bring the feet around so they're more pointed straight forward. Same is true if the toes are pointing in. When you have a habit of doing that, rotate the feet outward, exaggerate that a little bit, rotate the feet outward so you can get the rotating muscles in the hips to start setting the feet more straight. And you can change that by what you're doing. Now let me warn you, do this while you're practicing at home. Don't do what I did, where I started walking up and down streets in my daily life, because after a while my hips got really sore because those muscles weren't used to working that way. So start out practicing at home, and then over time you'll develop the strength and the stamina that you can go outside and do it all the time. And that's really what we want to do. If you walk on the inside or the outside of your foot, you can change that as well without changing what's in your shoe. If you walk on the outside of your foot, chances are the inside calf muscle is tight and it lifts the inside of your foot up because that's what it controls, and it forces you to walk on the outside. If that's the case, when you're practicing walking, try to walk more on the inside of your foot down that hallway and get your body used to releasing those muscles as you do that, and you can start to balance your feet out. If you walk on the inside of your foot, do just the opposite. Walk on the outside of your feet. And again, that's going to force the brain to change the way you use your muscles in your legs, because if you walk on the inside, the calf muscles on the outside are tight. And what we want to do is solve that problem. So these are 3 things that you can do starting today. And if you start doing them today, and I'm telling you, if you do them every day, you'll be amazed at how quickly your body will respond and your brain will respond just by making those little changes in the walks that you do every day. I've done it with my feet. The shoes that I wear are very flexible. I can bend them in half and stick them in my pocket. If you listen to most experts on shoes, they would tell you those are terrible shoes. But I'm telling you, I've had clients who have switched these shoes who had suffered all kinds of foot pain and back pain and hip pain. Some of them had given up their golf game because of back pain. And when I switched them to those shoes, the pain went away almost instantly. It was amazing what happened with that. But always practice your walking and get yourself where you're walking nice and straight and you're standing up without effort. So for now, if you like what you've heard today, please subscribe down below so you can get new videos every week when they come out. Make sure that you leave comments. Try these things. I want to hear what your results are. I've seen it here in my office a lot, but I always love hearing how it worked for you. And if it's not working for you, don't be afraid to tell me that, because if we can find a way that I can help you do it where it fits your body, I'd be happy to do that. And always share with your friends. If you have a friend who has these type of problems, share with them as well and get them to follow the 3 keys here and see if it helps them as well. And so for now, I will see you. However, let me remind you, I've currently written a book about the work that I'm doing here. The hopeful publication date is going to be probably mid-2024 to late 2024. We're in the midst of getting the book to a publisher. And so the book is going to consist of lifestyle changes, nutritional things you can do, what is stretch and release technique. And then in the book, you're going to have several chapters that are broken down by body parts: the back, the knees, the hip, the neck, the shoulders. And so you can use the book like a manual, because along with the content in the book, there will be links that you can go to where you can see the correlating videos like this one that can help you better understand what is being said in the book. But for now, see ya.